Stop! Police!
Oh, shit.
We have a total of 600 in progress for most of each. Subject is 25 and appears to have shit his pants.
Get back here!
Hey, what's up? This is Community Service with Craig Conant. That's me. Ooh, headphones. Sweet but Jesus. Hey. Are we rolling?
We are now, yeah.
Oh, sweet McGillicuddy. What's up? Welcome to Community Service Podcast with Andy Haynes is my guest. Very funny, very dope comedian that I bonded with on a road trip. I don't know if he bonded with me, but I fell in love with him.
No, we bonded, man. Anytime a guy chases you with a strange dildo, that's a connection you could never.
That was one of the funniest moments, I swear to God.
I laughed so hard.
I thought I actually didn't mean to throw it at you. Of the three persons, we're with Jay Light and Zane Hellberg. And not that we're not friends, but like of the three of you, you're the one I wanted to hit least with it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, also just because I feel like you might beat me up. And for those other two gentlemen, I'll beat them up. No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry, I'm distracted. Somebody offered me Lakers tickets.
Well, yeah, you got to respond to that.
Sorry about that, guys.
Get the Laker tickets.
Yeah, no, that was a fun trip. I was like, that's like ideal because it's like, it's all Cali and it was like beautiful places. What did we do? Santa Cruz, Tahoe.
And there was one more, right? I felt.
Feels like
It's
there's
like two or three
show.
rehab centers. We performed at rehab centers. It was quite nice with two sober Sallys up in here.
Mm-hmm.
And we helped people. I don't know, because I ran into one or two persons that said that here in LA. They're
wow.
oh, I saw you up there. I was like, what? Like, you just never think you're ever going to see them again. And I believe it was two. I know it was definitely once.
I've only had like, out of all, I've probably done, I don't know, 20 sobriety shows or shows like at rehabs and stuff like that. And I've only had like one or two that were just real duds. They're almost always fun because everybody's just so amped to do something fun opposed to like
a break from their
talking about their fucking afflictions.
Just their prison, really.
Yeah.
Good prison. Clean prison.
Clean prison.
Yeah, but that was so gorgeous. So we I spoke about it once before, and we showed the clip on as a promo clip on my IG because I filmed it.
Yeah.
And
were you filming and chasing?
Yeah, that's why I got
brilliant.
a little shaky. And in the caption, I said, what you missed was the dildo went right by his face, just like
flew. Yeah.
And he gave me that look like a disappointed father would, like, motherfucker, I will knock you out if that hit me, but it didn't.
Yeah. It was crazy. It was definitely, Craig brought like an unpredictable energy to the road trip that was, when I look back in hindsight, it was much appreciated because we were on some long stretches. It was also really funny because we pulled off to go to like a beautiful vista. Like we're like walking up this kind of small cliff to look down in this valley. We're in the Northern Sierras. And then Craig somehow just looks down and there's just a dildo like on the side of the road. Yeah, used.
And a bottle of lube in the most beautiful scenic nature shit you ever did see. It was autumn.
Yeah.
And they had like colors. It wasn't like LA. Like they had it was like a rainbow. You saw every color there was. We literally, it was so beautiful. We're like, pull over right here. We need to witness this. And then we went and we took our pictures, and got our beauty in. And then on the walk back, I looked down right by the car and there's just a dildo. Keep in mind, like, there's hundreds of miles we're driving. We pulled over next to a used dildo. I mean, the odds of that are astronomical.
It was almost like God wanted us to find that dildo. Wanted you to find that dildo.
Good old comedy gods, baby. Why, thank you.
Chuck it at us.
And I'm the only smart guy with enough, foresight to pick up a used dirty dildo.
Yeah, it's like, I never think to film. There was on my way over here, there was two cars going down Melrose, and I guess one cut off one or tailgated, and then they were just driving for like 2 miles just next to each other, like screaming at each other, just like holding up and I was like, I should film this because like one of them's gonna do something crazy. They didn't do anything crazy,
World
but you had the
star.
foresight to just be like,
it's funny that I made a joke to how smart I was to pick up a dirty dildo, and you just were like, yeah. But yeah, no, it's content, baby. Because how many times do you miss out on some shit? You're like, oh, god damn it.
you never you never get the dildos for the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
Is that the saying?
Yeah.
God damn it, that was fun.
So what's up with you, Craig? I haven't seen you for a minute. I live in New York now.
I know you moved to New York. That's good though. I'm born and raised here. I can't, but I've always thought about it. Just 'cause stage time, you know how it is over here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm spoiled right now, so I'm like doing a spot a night. But in New York, I almost always do a spot a night, but sometimes I'll do 3, sometimes I'll do more. I don't know. It's like it's kind of, I can't do New York forever, like
Okay.
because you never relax in New York. Like you never slow down.
It's too. I don't. It's like a.
But I hate the hang. I hate, like, I love the Comedy Store, but I hate just sitting around bullshitting because I'm too restless. Like,
Do you hate the hang in New York?
well, it's different because like the only hang you really do for me is like if I'm at the Comedy Cellar, you always go upstairs to the Olive Tree and you have dinner, or you sit at a table with people. It's a little more intimate. It's not really like at the store. I always feel like you're sitting on the patio or you're sitting in the hallway and people are kind of passing you by, and it's
It's a hectic hang. It's because there's literally servers with the 26 beers on a tray that you just
There's no
don't want
intimacy.
to bump into. Yeah.
It's like when I don't love parties, but I love to go to a party and sit with 6 friends in a corner. Or I love to go to like a club and sit with 6 friends in a booth, you know, like that kind of thing. And so like the Comedy Store, there's nowhere to do that really. You can go to the back bar, I guess.
But it's just weird and it's different, and I don't drink and I don't smoke, and also it just kind of, it's either Joe Rogan chilling, which I'm not at that level, just sit next to Joe Rogan and chop it up with, or it's like up and comers getting fucked up, and I don't do that, so I don't want, not that I love them, but it's just like it's not my shit.
Yeah, I also just like, I think it's like it's kind of lame to just like sit around and get fucked up, even though I did it for years. Like I wish I could tell people like, hey, you're wasting your time. Like
It's kind of lame, even though I put in 17 years of it.
yeah. I guess it's
true,
not
man.
lame, but
It depends. Like it was lame. At the end, I was literally just getting drunk by myself alone in my apartment because I was so broke. And a bottle of $8 vodka,
ugh.
$9.99. No, but it was actually good. It was a Monopolovian from Trader Joe's.
Oh shit.
It's from like
Were you working at
Austria.
TJ's then?
Oh yeah,
Sick.
I worked for 11 years, bro.
Fuck yeah. How many Hawaiian shirts you got?
I sold them all. I did. It's crazy. That was the coolest shit ever.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I sold over a decade's worth, and I gave so many away to coworkers before that, and I was like, oh, because a lot of fans just saw me get fired. Literally, I filmed everything and put it on live stream. So I'll be like, I was selling my shirts. I said it as a joke, and the DMs blew up, and I was like, whoa.
How much would you get fired for?
I farted on my manager and filmed it.
As a joke.
Uh-huh.
But like you kind of knew you were going to get fired?
I kind of wanted it, but when it actually happened, of course, you're just like, whoa, this happened. I filmed any and all antics and shenanigans, and some of them went viral. The fart went a little viral, and then corporate saw it. My manager didn't give a fuck. He was cool as shit. Corporate saw it and was like, get this kid out of here. And then my manager that fired me, I always say this, but like he went to my show Saturday and then fired me Tuesday. Like he was a homie. He didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It was just corporate saying, get him out.
That's a bummer. Have you
No,
been
it was
asked
the
to be a
best.
guest on the Trader Joe's podcast?
No. I asked them and they won't reply.
That sucks. Put this man on the Trader Joe's podcast. He fought in the trenches. Did you know that if he would have been in the U.S. Army, he'd have benefits for life? Trader Joe's.
Yeah, Trader Joe's. Good point.
Thank him for his service. He shouldn't have got dishonorably discharged too, because some of your food smells like ass. So he was just. Also, I feel like most Trader Joe's food is healthy. So what else are you gonna have than gas?
Yeah, I
That's
ate broccoli.
Yeah.
Espinacas.
Espinaca.
Spinach.
¿Cómo se dice Brussels sprout?
Bruselos sprouto. I have no idea.
So do you feel like, you said it's great that it happened. It's probably good to have an impetus to leave Trader Joe's after 11 years. But was there like any part of you that was like, I'm not being very sober right now? Or did you give a fuck?
What do you mean?
Like emotionally sober. You don't really go to meetings, do you?
I quit after 6 months, 8 months or something.
That's something we talk about in sobriety. You talk about like when you're in the rooms.
Yeah, I
Like emotional sobriety.
I just stopped. I honestly was scared of the work. I was scared to make amends with everybody. And I just went, nah. And then I stayed sober, so I never, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I always thought I still think I'm just scared and lazy, man.
That's okay, though, because, like, if
I should finish it. I should go through the program completely.
I mean, I love it. It saved my life, but I'm like a neurotic, crazy person, and you don't seem as much of that, you know?
But
like,
it did save my life, too, in the beginning. Like, in the beginning, I went a lot. I went, not, like, every day, but like 3-4 times a week.
Comedy Store?
No, the Log Cabin.
Oh yeah. See, I started at the Comedy Store, but I wasn't really like, I didn't vibe with anybody there. Like they were all kind of like Rainbow Room, Sunset Strip, like a lot of black clothing, you know? Like,
yeah.
A lot of like cool bartendery people. And I just nobody there really, like, I didn't bond with anybody. I met my first sponsor there, but I'm kind of more into the like East Side rooms, like the more like laid back, hear a little bit of bullshit about stars and yoga. And in New York, I go to meetings with like almost predominantly all the meetings I go to are like artists.
I'll never forget. Am I allowed to name the meeting? I don't know the rules.
Yeah, you can say the meeting.
I went to Bliss Art House Cafe meeting.
Yeah,
that was the most depressing meeting I ever went to in my life. Nobody had jobs or teeth, and it made me want. That also scared me out of meetings, but then I found the Log Cabin, the early one though, the 7:30.
Yeah,
that one was heavenly.
Morning meetings are better because
morning meetings are way better
because people with their shit together get up earlier, and then the other thing is that when you go to a meeting, you should go and be around people that have what you want. And I mean, I think one big part of AA is like giving back. I should say like a 12-step, whatever. People know I'm in AA. But you're like trying to help other people stay sober, and like what better than like some fucking horrifying meeting. But I literally drove past Log Cabin or Bliss last night, and I was like, oh, thank God I'm never going to go to a Bliss meeting again.
That's so funny.
Because I fucking never left one of those meetings being like, I feel sober. I was like, fuck, life sucks.
That was like the second meeting I went to, or third. It was very early on, and I just saw that, there's one at like noon or something, and I was like, I'll go to that one. And it felt very, this is fucked up, very homeless, very schizophrenic, very like mental illness vibes. And I left there feeling so sad and so dark, and I was like, well, what the fuck good is that? But then I went to the early one at the cabin, and it's very early. A lot of people go before work, professionals, executives, all that shit. And then that changed me, and I was like, and I got addicted to that meeting, and I was like, oh, all these people are professionals. I was like, this is where I need to be. And I'm not knocking those people. I guess I am, but like, it's just like, I want to go to meetings to feel better and inspired. Like, okay, if this guy's doing that and he used to be a crackhead, I'm down. But when you don't have a job or a home, that sounds so heartless. But you know what I'm saying, right?
It's just that, it's like
that makes me feel awful.
It's hard.
I'm depressed.
Also, you're getting sober, so it's a little different. But Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of a snob with my 12-step. I'm not trying to fuck around with like some dude in the corner being like fucking rambling at somebody who's not there. I feel bad saying that. That's not the most sober thing to say. And obviously, like, you want to help people stay sober, but you know,
It's the truth though. Like I wish that guy well. I wish him sobriety. I wish him money. I wish him a home. But I don't know what to give you. You literally need like clinical help. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I can't say let's get like with us like let's go get a cup of coffee with that dude. You're like
No, yeah, there was a guy. I remember I used to go to like a night meeting over by Trader Joe's, like the one underneath it, you know,
Mhm.
the 10 p.m. And there was a dude who was straight up homeless, and like he was just like around, and it just creeped me out because he wasn't homeless in like a stinky drunk kind of way. He was homeless in like he stank, but he was like always reading a book, and he didn't talk. And I was just like, this guy's gonna axe us all one night. He's gonna come out of here just with a fire axe, and we're all gonna just be piles of meat. And that's not sober.
With the fucking sensitive internet, keep in mind, I wish all homeless people well, and I hope they get the help they need.
Yeah, it's crazy because New York doesn't have New York's a grimy ass city, and we have homeless people, but we have nothing close to what's happening in LA. You'll see occasionally somebody camped out on a subway, and occasionally somebody camped out like on a street corner or like in a subway platform. But like fucking here
Is insanity.
there is just like, I was driving through downtown the other night, and like every single block has camps and camps and camps of people. Like, I don't know how. Here's what my plan is, right? Ready? They need to, when the Rams move to their new stadium, they need to turn the LA Coliseum into a giant homeless shelter,
I like that.
and they need to process people through there. I know this sounds like some fucking, Nazi shit.
You do look like a Nazi.
But I think they need to. We need to like get everybody off the street and like, oh, okay, you're homeless because you're like mentally ill. Go to like, psychologist. Go to like a place where you can be helped. You're a drug addict. Go to a rehab, and then everybody else, they can just crash it. Pretend they can play pickup football and at the Coliseum because we'll keep the goalposts up and shit like that. It's a slum. It's like a slum city down there. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Can I vape in here?
Yeah.
Cool.
No, I literally saw someone last night. I was going to Chick-fil-A to get an Oreo shake. I don't agree with their beliefs, but boy,
I actually think they
it's a
backed
good
up.
shake.
I think they backed up on it.
Good, because that's good chicken. I love gay people and gay rights, but that's some good Oreo shake, baby. Anyways, I seen this dude screaming at the air and trying to fight the wind, and I literally just went, and I got sad, and I was like, why isn't there, mental facilities to facilitate these motherfuckers? Because that guy's homeless because he's schizophrenic, and there's, you know what I mean? It's just like, Jesus Christ.
We need
The
to get
mission
him.
ain't going to help him. He
Yeah.
needs a hospital.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Let's
talk about something else.
what if we get them jobs on TV shows in the writers' room? Just get them in the writers' room, and like somebody will be like, I think Janet here should like be interested in Carl, and then he'll just be like, the wind is coming to steal your babies. And then just the crazy. That'd be fun to get crazy people to write shows.
I've never been on a writer on a show, so
I've only been on a couple, and none of them have been good. So it's not like I'm bragging, but I did like that money. The money was great.
I got that Patreon money, baby.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
$500 a month, baby.
That's fucking beautiful.
Woo-wee.
I've never been able to keep up with anything long enough to do a Patreon. My friends, I got a couple friends, like I'm friends with those Come Down guys. They all make like $60K a month in Patreon or something like that.
Holy sweet but Jesus.
Yeah,
I got to step my game up.
They're like buying houses and shit.
That's fantastic. I've never missed a week.
That's beautiful. And this is called community service because how many hours of community service did you get?
I don't know.
100?
Those are several different times. It's all a blur back then.
What's funny is we have similar like wild stories, although I never had to like suffer the consequences of like, I flipped a minivan going like 80 miles an hour into a patch of trees, climbed out, hitchhiked to the store to buy beer, got arrested in the store because I was demanding to speak Spanish to the guy who did not speak Spanish.
Ah.
You know, I was wild.
I knew I liked you.
I broke into somebody's house and fell asleep on their couch.
I've just broken. I told that story last podcast. It was to rob a drug dealer, though, so it's okay.
That's dope. You robbed a drug dealer?
Just a little bit.
What did you steal? What kind of money or weed?
Well, I was there for all. He had all the drugs. But I had a
target.
lookout buddy,
Oh, shit.
and he called me because the car was going to pull in, and it pulled into the driveway next door. But he called me as it was pulling up, so I bailed on the mission before I could get everything.
Yeah.
And I think I just got some weed. I don't even know, because it was a decade ago, and I was twacked out of my skull.
Were you on meth or what were you?
Pills, Oxycontins,
Hell yeah,
Norcos, Vicodin, cocaine, pretty much whatever was there. I tried everything.
Were you hooked?
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh yeah.
What a fucking...
People ask me, like, always people like, what was your thing? Like, yeah, of course I preferred Oxycontin and cocaine, but, you know, I was just like whatever the fuck was there, it didn't matter.
Did you ever shoot?
No.
That's
no.
good.
All my buddies did.
I don't think you can come back from the shooting.
No,
I think it steals a little bit of your soul.
I purposefully never did that because I saw my friends. A couple of them are dead.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 now. I'm losing track. But I just knew, I always knew I had to get out.
Yeah.
And I knew if I did that, I didn't know if I ever would get out.
I had friends. See, it's kind of a similar story, but it's different because it was all kids that kind of came from good families, or like at least families with like resources, like money.
Oh, these were knuckleheads I grew up with.
But these guys, we all ended up around knuckleheads, and like a couple of them, like a couple OD'd and died. One got killed by the cartel down in Tijuana.
Holy smokes.
Like these kids got in so deep because
Yeah.
like they listened to too many like Wu-Tang albums.
I remember
You know?
my buddy showing me the knots in his arm, because when you miss or something,
Really?
it like bubbles up and festers, and it just looks like giant acne sores or cysts
Ow.
or something. And I was just like, oh, like, yeah.
And it was probably infected.
Yeah, one lady shoot up in her foot, and she had bloody like feet, and I was just like, oh, fuck this.
Damn.
Let me just
fucking
smoke.
good job, dude.
Let me smoke that black tar.
Where are you from?
Here, Torrance, LA, county, but
Torrance has some junkies.
yeah. Pillheads that graduate, because everybody starts the same way. You start off with a little 500 Vicodin, and you're like, oh, that's nice. And then you go, let's do 750s. Ooh, let's do Norcs. Ooh, Oxycontin's nice. Synthetic, 100% pure government-made heroin. Then that gets to be so expensive. You're like, but heroin's cheap, and it lasts longer, and it's stronger.
Did you try fentanyl?
No, I got out before that came in. That's a newer thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's like a generic, like they made it to like basically, I honestly, I think what fentanyl is for is people dying of like terminal diseases. And so you take fentanyl to subside the pain, but it's like, I think it's 100 times more powerful than an oxy.
Yeah.
And so,
Everybody's dying.
yeah, it's like people, and the fucked up thing, I still don't understand the logic of this, is it's getting into all the other drugs. Like they're just like dropping it in with like Molly, and they're dropping it in with Coke. And so people are dying because they're taking like a fucking rail of Coke, and then they're like, their heart stops because you basically gave them the amount of morphine you would do to kill a prisoner on death row. And, but people also do this drug, so I don't really know how that works.
I don't either. And also, why are you sprinkling it in cocaine?
That's what I don't understand.
If for a capitalist standpoint, a drug addict can't pay you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's harsh, but that's the cartel way. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make... If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Yeah, it's fucked.
How long you been sober?
Man, I just celebrated 5 years in October.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I got 6, baby.
Hell yeah, dude. When did you do it?
When
your
I was
birthday?
29. August 10th.
August 10th. Congrats,
August
man.
10th.
Yeah, man. This actually was like, I want to say between year 4 and 5 was like probably the hardest year of sobriety ever for me, because I got mad successful right around my 4th birthday, anniversary, whatever you want to call it. And and then I had this girlfriend who I thought was like the fucking moon and stars. I thought she was so great. She was a drunk and also a party animal. Like she's older, but like worked in the arts and like, you know, did blow, got like wasted every night. And I lost it all. I lost it all immediately, like around June. And then I was just a wreck, and I was broke, and it was like 6 degrees in New York, and I was like, what the fuck? Why did I get sober for this bullshit? Because when you're running the program and bad shit happens, you know, then you're like, what about the miracle, you know? And then I dug in, and it has been like one of the best years of my life. Since
I always think that too. I'm like, man, I hit 5 years. I hit 6 years. I probably can just have a little.
No.
You can't. You can't.
Did you quit smoking cigs?
I never smoked cigs.
You
I was a
didn't?
pothead.
Wait, but you never smoked anything like after your sobriety?
No.
Oh, wow.
A lot of coffee, a lot of sweets, a lot of pocket knives.
Yeah, what's the deal with the pocket knives?
I just love them.
They're great.
They're fucking dope.
I love a pocket knife.
You always got to have one.
Do you ever throw them at things?
I used-
Closed.
I used to have throwing knives, and we used to throw them at the dartboard in high school, and it was fun as fuck. I don't know what happened to those. I don't have a dartboard, but yeah, I got pretty good at it.
And you have mad family down here too, right?
Yeah,
That's great.
we're all from here.
Mexican?
Yeah, they're all in Wilmington and San Pedro and Lomita.
You go down there and you're like, Orale, way.
Yeah, and I make fun of them on podcasts, Instagram, and everything. And
Can you do like a heavy like cholo accent?
I
Like, do you
never
put it
really-
on?
Papa Terry's on Mahomes. I guess I have it. I guess I offend my family too, and I don't know what I said about.
Because it's funny, because like what's weird to me is that like basically everybody south of San Francisco, like white dudes that surf, kind of have a little bit of a cholo. Like
Yeah,
you'll go
it's a
down to like
thing.
Huntington Beach and dudes are like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And you're
Yeah.
like, "What? Your name's Connor." You know?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I was actually making fun of my buddy on the last podcast as well, but his turned thick. I was like, when did you get born and raised in East Los? Because you were raised in Torrance, Travis. Because it always was sprinkled in, and it is a thing. Like, I have it a little, like a baby bit.
You do have a SoCal accent.
Yeah, he had it a little bit, but like, I don't know when. That shit is thick now. Thick. I was just like, when the fuck this happened? My other buddy, Sean, I grew up with these guys. They're non-comics. And he was like, yeah, that shit just happened recently. And
Yeah.
it's like, what?
He just started hanging out of the car shop.
I get, but even like his wife's Peruvian.
And he's
She-
white?
He's white.
Oh, okay.
He has a quarter Mexican in him, but he's like me. Like, we're whitewashed American. He grew up in West Torrance. Like, we are not, we are Mexican,
Is West Torrance barrio or working class white?
working class white nation.
Okay. Oh, okay. What
Uh,
kind of Asian?
I don't know.
Just Asian? Generic Asian?
Just affluent Asian that want good school districts.
Oh, shit.
I'm gonna guess Japanese, but I could be wrong.
You're probably wrong. I
Yeah.
don't think there's a lot of Japanese people here.
I just know that my school was predominantly Asian. There's a lot of Asian, so much so that on Saturday, because Asian people work so fucking hard, they just rented out the school and did private Asian school there on
Just more
Saturdays.
homework.
Yeah.
The kids were like, only 5 days of work?
Oh my God. I was not the kids, the parents. I remember getting Saturday school detention and being there and be like, why are they all these Asian kids here? But like not with the troublemakers.
Meanwhile, they're lapping us, dude.
Oh
They're
yeah.
fucking-
Meanwhile,
they
they
kill it.
all have businesses, homes, stocks, and I'm in a studio with no kitchen talking about how I used to smoke black tar.
It's dope because I'm living out in El Sereno right now. Like I got a free place for 2 months in El Sereno on the top of like a hill by Cal State, and it's mainly Latino right by me. But if you just go right over the hill, it's like China. You know,
Yeah.
it's dope. I love that part of LA, like because like I don't really need to be like I like driving into West Hollywood. I like driving into Silver Lake, but there's something so beautiful to be around with like real people. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody's there like shooting headshots or working on a monologue or like,
Selfie walls.
yeah, none of that bullshit.
How many views will this get? Yeah, it is nice.
I'm just going down to the fucking tienda and fucking buying some cacahuates.
You could buy fireworks there.
Yeah, mango con chili. Hell yeah, dude.
not like made right there on the spot, not prepackaged and
Oh, but I
charged
like that.
$9.95.
I love that prepackaged bullshit that, like, you know, the rack in the grocery store or in the like the mini mart that's just the Mexican candy. It's like lollipops
Oh,
and
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
fucking love that shit.
I never got into it. I don't know why. Even as a kid, I just want chili and sweet separate.
You know what it is? I think it's because white people, we just have no culture, so we just like latch onto a culture, and I latched onto Latino culture.
It's the best one, man. It's fucking women.
It's really
food.
thriving.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Do you see Selma Hayek's boobs the other night?
What? No.
They're not out. She just had very pushed up breasts, which I think are fake, but man, she's a smoke show.
She's so hot. She's so hot.
That's a funny thing. I've been all over Latin America, and like you go to like Venezuela or Colombia, and like the average woman looks like Sofia Vergara. Like you'll go to like a 7-Eleven, and a lady like checking you out will look like Sofia Vergara or like one of these fucking beautiful Latina actress models or whatever. And you're like, what are you doing here? Just go to LA and you'll never have to work the rest of your life. Get out of here.
yeah.
You could stay with Craig on, is that a king? No, that's a queen, but still.
It's a queen, but it's a nice queen.
Yeah, it's a nice queen. He's got an upholstered frame, which is like a key. It's just such a nice like clutch move.
It is nice. My cat's kind of ripping it up, but it was cheap on Amazon. Who gives a shit? It's one of those things. I love him more than the bed. You know, I can't be like, hey.
I think I'm like pleasantly surprised by how like nice the spot is, because you know I've never actually like hung out with you like outside of the few sobriety shows we've done, and you threw a dildo at me, so I was like, oh, there's a good chance that this is going to be like a gross apartment, and it's actually beautiful.
I cannot live like that. And I was actually talking about this with another buddy of mine. I don't understand dudes that don't clean their toilet and it just reeks of urine.
Yeah.
Like, hey, asshole, get some Fabuloso, you mother pine saw, if you're not enlightened. You know?
Yeah, I fucking I can't understand people that live like gross. Like I won't go to your house. Like, and I'll tell you why. I'm 37 years old. I can't be fucking around with like a garbage can full of like tissue paper, like just next to the toilet. I'm an adult.
Like, throw that shit away. It's gross. It's fucking gross. Clean your life up. Also, too, I'm tired of people saying, oh, it's the way. You can change. I don't know if I ever said this on the podcast, but dude, I used to not have sheets on my bed, and there was a gray outline of where my body was because I didn't give a fuck about life. I know I've said this before, where I would just...
How long ago was this?
Oh, this was at least a decade. This is when I was when I was pilling, popping,
Junkie.
snorting, junkie kid. I lived at home with my mother in bunk beds, had gray outline because I literally went, I don't want to put the sheets on because I was a lazy drug addict. And then 2 years later, there was just a gray outline. I didn't bathe. I remember I'd masturbate with white lotion, and I wouldn't wash my hands so the lotion would turn gray. I probably shouldn't have said that. But I wouldn't open my mail, and I would just put it in a trash bag because I knew eventually I'd have to... I would take care of business and pay my taxes. I didn't do my taxes for like 4 years.
Did you have a job? Or did you
Trader
just
Joe's.
scam? Oh, you were a junkie at Trader Joe's.
Yeah, but I was actually unemployed for a year, and then Trader Joe's for a year or two, and then I cleaned up.
Did you
and
go to
moved
rehab?
out. No, I did it the ghetto way.
Church?
No, I just bought a case of $2 Chuck and a couple ounces of marijuana and just smoked and drank every night until I passed out to get off of narcotics.
That's amazing. That's actually really fucking amazing.
And you just got to keep it strong over here. Oh,
See, I fucking love that, dude. Because you came from like, that's pretty fucking grimy.
I couldn't afford rehab.
And so when somebody's telling you, they're like, I can't like change my ways. I'm just a dirtbag. You're like, I used to fucking rob drug dealers for pills and not sleep with sheets. And now I have a nice adult apartment 6 years later. Like, shut the fuck up. You can fucking clean your toilet.
You can change. And a part of the reason, this is very heavy based in sobriety, but I told you before, it's just kind of loose. One of the reasons I do talk about sobriety and doing all this horrible shit and having gray fucking lotion on my hand is because when I was down in the darkness, of hell. I wasn't like suicidal, but I was suicidal in the sense that I didn't give a fuck whether I lived or died, and would take any amount of drugs and run across busy streets twacked out and just might get clipped by a car. You know, just jumping off piers, houses, doing backflips, you know, just insane shit. To where I pretty much was suicidal. I just wasn't going to blow
You
my
were going to
brains
die
out.
in like a cool way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I want, because it was so dark down there and it was so scary, and I didn't have therapy and I didn't have the resources, but I always knew I wanted to get out of that. And that's partly in why I talk about this. I want to show the knucklehead kids that are snorting Oxycontins and cocaine that you can get out. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to be a fucking degenerate loser. And even if you're rich and still doing that, guess what? You're still a fucking loser, man. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like, that's the thing is like, I really think that is super impressive. You had the fucking wherewithal to be like, I need to fucking wean off of narcotics, and you did it with like the way you could. And so what, like 2 weeks of the weed and the $2 chuck?
Yeah, about 2 weeks. I took work off. I went to my sister's house. I couldn't be around my mother, you know, detoxing. And then I detoxed there in a unconventional manner. And then I didn't do pills for like 2 years and coke. And then one of my buddies just one day handed me a handful of Norks. And it was like 12 of them. He's like, happy birthday. He didn't know, though. He wasn't an evil bastard.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen him in years, and he just went, here. And then I was like, oh, it's been a while. I think I could do this. And I took one, and then we went day drinking in Hollywood.
Oh, you were still drinking?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then within 30 minutes, I ate all 12 because I'm a fucking addict.
Damn, dude.
I used to take like 26 at a time. Like a perfect day that I could afford was 12 Norks.
How much does a Nork sell for?
$5-6. It was an expensive habit. I was never rich enough to where my habit could get crazy because it's too expensive.
I used to smoke 8 the weed a day, which like I don't think is
That's
very
not
impressive now.
impossible. No, it is. I mean, I was like a 2G a day kind of guy, a gram.
Yeah, it
2G
was like
max.
I would say I was like 3 grams a day on
That's
average.
so much.
And every morning I would wake up and I would smoke the end of the spliff from the night before that I'd fallen asleep smoking. Like I'd been like, and it was like I was big into tobacco and weed. Like it was like I would roll like those, like, you know, those really large.
I hated that shit. I went to Amsterdam and that's all they had over there.
Yeah, I loved it because I thought it made me like European and classy. I thought I was like a real fucking, you know, interesting
it just tastes
guy.
like tobacco, and I hate tobacco.
Well, and then I would leave my weed at home because I had this really good writing job, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to my job, and I'm not gonna think about weed, and I'm not gonna smoke at lunch. I'm just gonna go. And then, sure enough, at lunch I'd be like, I should get some weed for right when I get off, and I just would go straight to the dispensary, and then just like the second I got off work, just smoking until I fell asleep.
Yeah, that's the type of stoner I was. I didn't finish the pill story though, so I end up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No,
sorry.
no, it's okay. I this is important because was a pivotal moment to where I was like, I'll just take one, and then I ate all of them like instantly because it felt good. And then I ended up going to bed, and it was hot in my room, and I woke up and I punched a window and shattered it, and woke up in broken glass and a bloody hand, and I was
You
like,
punched it like you were hot, and so you were like, I gotta open this window. So
and
you
I
just
punched it, and I was just twacked out, and I was like, I can't do this. This is after 2 years of no narcotics, you know. And I always was like, oh, I could do coke if somebody else has it, but I was always around somebody else that had it, you know, like
Yeah.
to where it wasn't sporadic enough.
Yeah.
And then very shortly after that, I was like, you know, the saying, it's a wet and slippery slope. I was like, I can't do anything. I can't even have a beer. Because I even said, like, when I first lame attempted at sobriety, I was like, I'll just have one or two. It's like, no, you can't.
And you were getting like blackouts.
Then I get shit-faced, and I'd be like, oh, fuck. And then if anybody had any narcotics, I'd be like, well, I'm shit-faced. Who cares?
Damn.
And then weed, too, same thing. Like, although weed kind of saved my life from narcotics, so I'm forever grateful. But, like, I would smoke like you. Like, that's not healthy.
No, I remember one time I was like thinking I was very cool at the Comedy Store, and I was like talking to Gerard, and I was like, I gotta chill out on weed, and he was like, how much do you smoke? And I was like, oh, just all day, every day. And he was like, Andy, you have to stop that. And I was like, oh, yeah. I'm talking to a very successful person, and they like clearly, you know, like there's a difference in us.
Isn't it weird how just simple words like that
Yeah.
has an effect on people?
Yeah.
Where
yeah.
you're just like, you're right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was like immediate. I was just like, you're right, dude.
It's very weird when it just comes, even though those thoughts have been burning in your mind, body, and soul probably for some time. It just sometimes takes a stranger to be like, you should get sober. You know? You're
Yeah.
like, okay, Bob, you know, or whatever the fuck your name is.
Did you go to the rooms like right after that Norco experience, or did you like
I was
stay out
actually
for a while?
being taken by a friend. It just kind of, you know, when like everything just comes into place.
Yeah.
Someone saw me and was like, you should come to meetings with me.
That's great.
And then like a couple incidents happened to where I was like, fuck, you know?
Yeah.
And then a person was like, you should come work for me and run sound, and I'll give you stage time. And it just kind of all went
Were you doing stand up?
barely. Like a mic a month, you know, like not really, you know.
Yeah, but you're one of those few people that like I think genuinely you have something. I know that's like it's hard for like, okay, so I think there's like people that like they need to like work on finding out what's funny about them. You're just funny. You're just a funny person. Like you've been open for Dalia, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's like so fucking big, and you like, I don't know, man. That's such a good fucking story. I'm glad that you share it on this. This is fucking.
I know. Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Because the thing is like one thing that's cool is like you like have like such a wild life. Like you have such a crazy story. Do you talk about that much on stage? I don't remember.
Yeah,
I haven't seen you for a minute.
I talk about all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, you have a good fucking story.
I don't know what else to talk about.
And you don't have like, you're not like, what's the deal with bees?
Oh God, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
I have one observational bit, and it's about a chemical out of a beaver's asshole that flavors food.
Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Just beavers?
No, I'm sure there's more. That's only what I learned about.
That's fucking dope. What's the chemical?
It's called castoreum, and it flavors strawberry, raspberry, and vanilla flavors foods.
Do you talk about how you want to eat a beaver's ass?
I say, like, who is the first guy to figure this out? You know, like how do you eat a beaver's asshole and be like, ooh, raspberries? You know,
Yeah.
and how is it cost effective for this?
Yeah, because a beaver's not like like I don't know where
That's
to
what I
find a
say
beaver.
in my bit. I'm like, I've never seen one beaver. I've seen raspberries, vanilla beans, strawberries galore. And then in the article I read, it's all in my bit, but it's all just the truth. It said it's uncomfortable for both parties, and it has to be manually extracted. So there's a job
Of extracting castoreum?
yeah, so there's a job to finger a beaver's butthole to make it secrete beaver's booty juice. And I said that backwards. I was supposed to say no, it's uncomfortable. See, I can't even do bits in real life because it makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Because it has to be manually extracted, so there's a job for a guy to finger a poor beaver's asshole
Yeah.
to secrete the fluid that then flavors breakfast cereals in the article that I read. And
That's
then
amazing.
it says that it's uncomfortable for both parties. And the big punch there, I'm like, yeah, no shit. You know, like, are you insane?
But wait, I don't know. Maybe the beaver likes it.
I don't think so. Not according to the article that I
Did
read.
you try to look it up if there was video of it?
No, I didn't get that far, Andy. I read one article. That was enough. I was like, oh, fuck.
Because I want to make sure that the beavers are all right. Like, I love animals so much. Like, I've been like super emotional all week because of all these Australian animals that are getting hurt in the fires, and it would really bum me out if there was just like a giant warehouse full of like just beavers being like, I'm gonna get fingered again here any minute.
I don't know, but I imagine, yeah, if the other animal industries like chicken and cows have shown us anything, I imagine there's some warehouse full of beavers.
How many? That's crazy.
ass
Maybe
up,
that's where all the
belly down.
beavers are, because I've never seen a beaver either.
I don't know.
That's wild.
That's
These
my,
poor fucking
my
beavers.
one observational bit.
It's a great bit. Thank you for sharing it
It's
with
called
me.
beaver spots.
Is that what you write on the set list? That's great. Have you done it on anything that's like been televised?
No, I haven't been on TV yet.
It doesn't matter. I mean, like the fucking Laugh Factory YouTube.
Oh, no, not yet.
You should do it. That's a fucking viral bit waiting to happen. And also maybe you'll bring attention to the cause of freeing the beavers.
Yeah.
Is it pretty widely used?
Beaver spots? Oh, yeah. It's in breakfast cereals, oatmeals, candies, cookies, crackers.
How much
That's
does
what
it
I don't
secrete?
understand.
Like-
That's what I don't understand. I just talked about it on my Patreon episode because I just don't understand it.
So this is a new bit too.
No, it's the old bit. It's one of my first Trader Joe's bits because that was the whole premise. Like you learn weird shit about food you don't necessarily want to learn, you know. And while working there, I learned that there's a chemical in a beaver's asshole that flavors foods. One lady is like, "This has castoreum. It's all natural, but don't trust it." And I was like, oh, "That's another thing. They deem it as all natural because the beaver is natural."
There's some other weird stuff like that.
Wood is used as a filler in shredded cheese.
Wood?
Sawdust, and that is deemed as all natural because wood is all natural.
I'm actually not mad at that because I would love to eat a tree. They look delicious.
They smell delicious.
Yeah, like if you could eat a cedar tree. You ever had cedar candy?
I have cedar planks on hanger hooks in my
Yeah,
closet.
I had those. They make
Yeah.
it smell nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right.
I have lavender in my jean drawer because I don't wash them.
You're not supposed to wash denim.
I know. You could freeze them. I have yet to do that.
I've done it.
You put them in a bag first, right? That's what I was told.
I think I just folded them up because I had an empty freezer.
Yeah, so if you freeze your jeans, it kills the germs and the odor.
Yeah.
You can't
Also,
nuke
if you have like high quality denim, like APCs, you know, that raw denim, you can go into the ocean and you just take the sand and salt water and you rub them all off and then you just rinse them out and then let them dry and that's how you clean them.
Won't the salt, you rinse them after that?
Yeah, you don't let the salt spend too
Okay.
much time in there.
I guess those times drunk, jumping off piers into the ocean was well spent.
I love jumping off shit. A lot of my drinking days were like, but I didn't live near like a swimmable ocean. You can't swim in the Northwest because the ocean is like, you'll die. It's like freezing. It's like 40-degree water.
Yeah.
So we would go up to the
And I
mountains
just imagine
and
the
jump in
currents will
ponds
just
and
rip
shit.
you out to sea. Not so much?
They're not wild. There's no waves.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like a big, huge bay. It's called the Puget Sound.
The Puget Sound?
Puget.
Puget. That sounds like a punk band.
Yeah, it does. We make some good. There's been some good punk rock out
We
there.
are Puget Sound. We eat castoreum for breakfast.
Hell yeah. Sorry, I gotta check what time this is because I got these free
Got Laker games?
Laker tickets. I'm stoked. They're probably gonna be courtside. I gotta go fucking clean up.
Wow.
Yeah,
He's fancy. He's clicked up.
I'm clouting over here.
I'm fancy adjacent.
Yeah, you do some fancy shit.
Yeah, mainly just shows though. I don't work the angles of Hollywood. I got to.
I mean, I don't work them anymore. I used to be more like ask if I could get help getting into this and that, but like now it's like too much of a pain to ask. Like I don't have agents anymore either, so I can't like hit up my agency.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I bum you out?
Agent? I have an agent now.
You do?
Agent.
That's great. Do you headline on your own yet?
Funny you say that. This weekend is the first ever one I'm being flown out for. I've done 2 one-nighters.
Sick.
And it starts, I got 9 cities off JFL.
Oh, you did New Faces?
Yeah.
Oh, sick, dude.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's why I missed you.
And I got managers and agents, and I start headlining this year. I've done a one-nighter at the Rec Room Huntington Beach and a one-nighter at Brea Improv. and this weekend I'm being flown to Milwaukee.
Sick. You're doing the Comedy Cafe.
I don't know.
I love this. He just doesn't worry about the details. I love it. I'm like literally like looking up like I'm like, how much is the rental car if I fly into Midway and drive up? And you're just like, I'm gonna show up. I'll do the gig. I don't know the name of the club.
Yeah, a lot of my comedian friends be like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I don't know." They're
How are
like,
you gonna plug it? You just aren't.
I just put Milwaukee.
It all. The funny thing is that 100% works. There's not like gonna be two Craigs. What's your last name?
Conan.
Craig Conan. There's not gonna be Craig Conan, like another Craig Conan in Milwaukee. But I'm like putting it on my calendar with like the fucking zip code.
One flyer, Delia even said, he's like, "Hey man, where's the information at?" Because I just put New York in a date, and he's like, "What?" You know, like I was like, "Oh yeah."
That's a good point.
Oh, whatever, man. That's what happens when you make your own flyers. I don't have money for flyer guys.
How'd you guys meet?
Trader Joe's.
You're a Trader Joe's guy?
Yep.
You work there?
Yep.
Still?
Yeah, still.
Are you allowed to say which one?
It's the one he worked at.
Okay. I think
Well,
I know
he's
that
not
one.
a troublemaker. It was just me.
And you used to work at West Hollywood?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I put that together.
Yeah.
I like that one. My manager, my old manager that I made a formal AA amends to, and then like we had a falling out, lives right next door to that one.
Mm.
Like up that, you know, the street that you can't drive through on?
Yeah, yeah.
She's like the first house there.
See, that's why I'm afraid to make amends. I don't want to be digging up old shit that's already buried. Let's best let sleeping dogs lie.
Well, she was still my manager. It was like,
Oh, okay.
you know, but then she
I don't.
just,
I don't need to.
I didn't get
I
rich
don't know
and
what I
famous.
did, to be honest.
That's cool. But you also don't seem like it rides on you. Is it?
It did for a long time. Yeah.
Do you have resentments?
Oh, against who?
Anybody?
There's a couple people I kind of hate, but it's because they just did so much bad shit to me.
But do you have things like now where like you'll see somebody and you'll be like, that motherfucker ain't shit? You don't seem like it.
No, not really. It's extremely rare, and if it is felt, it would be comfortable to say that 9 out of 10 people would feel the same way.
Yeah. And you seem grateful too.
I'm extremely grateful.
Yeah, see, because I'm like a dirtbag. I was raised with everything, and then I'm just like neurotic and like not grateful for anything. This is my former self or my untreated self, and like then I'll like somebody will have like not given me a dream job 2 years ago, and I'll be sitting there like looking at their Instagram, being like, this motherfucker doesn't even know. I fucking hate them. And they're like, they don't think about me. They're not losing sleep. And I'm sitting there, and he's like, he's probably gonna fuck my ex-girlfriend.
A very, very little bit. It's not really anything. Yeah, of course, it's natural to have those thoughts, but it's nothing that I'll sit and wallow in and fester in and where it becomes unhealthy.
Yeah.
It'll just kind of come in and come out and be like, oh, fuck them, bye. And that's like, I'll get angry at people for sure, but it lasts 12 minutes, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Do you have a hard out? What time?
I got to get going pretty soon. What's your guys? What are we at?
What are we
time-wise?
53 minutes.
What do you
Okay.
like to do?
Okay, this is going to be your favorite part. So, of course, you know, I am who I am. You got a good poop story where you shit your pants in a very embarrassing manner, maybe on a hot date or on stage or in an airport, you know, just a good old diarrhea down the leg story, you know?
Well, do you want an adult one or child one?
Whatever one's funnier. Or both. How long are they?
You know, I honestly, well, this is a good poop story. I didn't shit my pants on this one, but I was in Guatemala. I did like this, like 6 months in Guatemala, or 3 months, sorry. 3 months in Guatemala, where I was like doing my like basically college thesis, but I went to a bullshit college, so it wasn't like a proper thesis. But you would like live in this little village. We lived in this little village on this lake, and I would go running. I would like run up to this like old derelict coffee farm, and like that was my exercise, you know?
Derelict is such a good word. My dad called me that my whole life.
You're not a derelict anymore. You
Not
probably
anymore,
were.
but he's like, "Ooh, this derelict over here." Even before I was a derelict, and I didn't know what that word was, but it's a good word.
Yeah, it's a great word.
Great word.
But
Derelict coffee farm. I don't understand.
it was like nobody used it. It was like abandoned.
Oh, gotcha.
And so I like ran up there, and it's like kind of sketchy. You're like running through like basically like jungle, and like there's a lot of wild dogs and shit like that. And there's also like the jungle animals, and then like also like a lot of thieves, you know, like because there's like no opportunities up there, so people are like robbing white people a lot. And but I was halfway through the run, and I just got it. It just hit me. I was like, I'm sick. Like it was like food poisoning almost or something like that. Like I was like, I'm gonna, and I had to like, it was like people around, you know, because it's a trail, and so I had to like jump off of this wall to this like lower area to get off the road, and I like shit in a crouch, and it was like nothing solid about it. It was like it was a disaster. It like I feel like it was like a color that you wouldn't have like expected diarrhea to be either. And then as I was like shitting, I realized I was like standing in like a like an ant hill, and ants were like running up my leg.
That's
and,
some
like,
Guatemalan ants
yeah, like
too.
fire ants were
Oh
like
yeah,
biting
that's
my
nice.
legs and
That's
shit.
a good one.
And then I like finished diarrheaing, and then like went back to the town, and I was like, ugh, like just like barely made it back. And they had this stuff called té amarga, which is like I still to this day don't know what it was. It was some herb, and you drank a tea made from that herb, and you were fine.
Yeah,
It was like some curandera shit.
that's the shit, man. Herbs are the bomb. That stomach ease tea. You're
Yeah.
puking, about to puke, and he took the stomach ease tea I had.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, I stand by. It's the same flavor, so I think they might be related. But if you feel like if you're gonna go someplace where it's sketchy to drink the water or sketchy to eat the food, or if you're starting to feel stomach sick, drink grapefruit seed extract. It's like oil. 10 drops in the water. It's the most bitter flavor you'll ever taste in your life. It like you can't resist the reaction, and it fucks you up. But you won't get sick.
You do that every day or just at the start?
Like if I'm gonna go to Mexico and I'm gonna be just wilding and eating street food and stuff like that, I'll do that. Anywhere like that where like I would be kind of like this
Every morning.
morning, night, yeah.
Okay.
But like I don't do it day to
Nice.
day. But if I felt like I was getting stomach sick here,
Yeah.
I would do that.
Okay.
So don't shit your pants.
I have a great highlight reel, Farts in Mexico. Check it out if you have not already. I ate Mexican food, and I literally farted more. I fart a lot as it is. I'm a farty guy. I just eat dairy. I'm probably lactose. I for sure am. At least intolerant. Not, what's the easy one?
Yeah, lactose
Yeah,
intolerant.
sensitive. And I don't give a fuck. I eat ice cream, yogurt, dairy, whatever. I'm not going to change. So I just fart a lot. But in Mexico, I was farting like 20, 30 times a day.
Yeah.
Loud rippers, nonstop.
Smell bad?
Some of them, yes.
Yeah.
And I just was like, fuck it, I'm going to film this shit. And I just kept farting on my family so much. I got to make a highlight reel and make a hard post about it. But
do you ever have farts that smell so bad that they smell like methane gas? You ever had those kind of
Sometimes,
farts
yeah.
where you're just like that
it's
would
rancid.
like if you farted around somebody, they would disavow you. They'd be like, I can't
Yeah.
fuck with you anymore.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to change my diet, but I don't.
I don't know what it is because I'm pretty healthy. I don't even really eat that much.
It's my
dairy.
diet. I know when it's gonna happen. It's
You eat like a 7-Eleven like hot dog?
no. I don't. I eat relatively clean, but like some nights I'll literally like, okay, I'm starving. I don't really have food. I'm gonna eat a little bit of chicken nuggets, a bowl of cereal, some yogurt, and a cookie and chocolate. Like that's too many things. Like this guy gets mad at me.
I got a dip pretty soon. I'm sorry.
Okay, is the child poop one quick?
I'm trying to remember the child poop one. I think it was. What was the child poop one? I shit my pants as an adult one time where I just thought that I was gonna fart. Like I even did the like 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 I was on a couch.
That'll get you every
But
time.
it wasn't that funny because I was by myself. But it was my friend's couch, like we were roommates, and I felt bad because I definitely got some shit water on his couch because I just filled my pants.
That's perfect. That's a great ending. I just farted too and it smells terrible. I'm sorry. Anyways, thank you for being on Community Service Podcast. This is Andy Haynes. We'll tag you and everything.
Thanks for having me, Craig. I
It comes
appreciate
out
it,
next Wednesday. If you're thinking about getting sober, odds are you should get sober.
True.
And it's easy.
Yeah.
Good luck. I love you all. Thank you. Rate, review, all that shit. It helps. Please. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.